Okay, I want to talk about Skeeter Jean here. You know, he's a YouTube predator catcher, and I want to expose him for the fraud that he is. So you can see his information here. Skeeter Jean, YouTube star. Birthday, September the 25th, 1994. That's the same year I dropped out of school when I was 16. So basically, I was 16 years old when this douchebag was born. And he is 29 years old. And he's a YouTuber who described himself as a professional Chris Hansen impersonator. His videos parody Dateline NBC segment To Catch a Predator. You hear that? His videos parody, P-A-R-O-D-Y, parody Dateline NBC segment To Catch a Predator. This guy is a fraud. He doesn't care about kids. What he cares about is views, money, and fame. He has amassed more than 1.3 million subscribers on his Skeeter Jean channel. Before fame, he launched his Instagram account in 2013. So he also has an Instagram account. One of his most viewed parody videos features three predators getting busted one night in Philadelphia. He has amassed more than 50,000 followers on his the real Skeeter Jean TikTok account. He is from Detroit, Michigan. No surprise there. He's associated with, he tweeted about Buddy Pine and Mr. Incredible, characters in Pixar's The Incredibles. So, yeah, not surprised there. So, yeah, he's lame and he's a fraud. But don't take my word for it. On Reddit, this person said, I personally can't stand this guy, the guy. He has a hard-on for Chris through the whole Skeet Hansen and to Skeet a Predator gimmick. He basically just recycles whatever Chris has said in previous interrogations, like when he says, what drives a man to come here? Just wanted to see what the general consensus was on the guy. And then on Reddit, P-H-E-A-K-E-L, Peckle Matters, I guess, says, better than most but still rife with problems. He exploits family members of his catches and in the past has become hostile to store employees. He has ridiculous segments where somebody is literally feeding him food while he talks to the predator. Also, when he effing dresses up like the Easter Bunny or Freddy Krueger or whatever. Like, WTF, dude. You find a child predator and that's how seriously you take it. He blocks catches from leaving. Doesn't advise they're free to go. The Predatorial Investigation Unit, STIC, walks a thin line and can be construed as impersonating a cop. I'm sure he's not informing the motels he uses these days that the room is for a sting operation and he purposely bringing dangerous people on the property. And he's, of course, only in it for the money and clout, like all the others. His channel started as a comedy channel, and he only became a catcher after he did one sting for shits and giggles, and it became his most viewed video. Very few of his catches face charges and get convicted. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. And this person said word. When he flashes his PIU identification, I'm like, whoa, be careful. I'm no lawyer or even pretend to know what I'm saying, but that can't be good news. If the predator brings it up while being questioned by the cops, the defense lawyer, I'm sure, will use that as ammo. He literally just used software to put together words and possibly an image, making it an official credential. And this person said on Reddit, can we also throw in the fact that he often calls the police as the predator is slipping away and throws this entire case he's built on the person into the police's hands with no forewarning or anything. Bob Brock 86 9 months ago said he doesn't care about the victims. Exactly. He only cares about promoting himself. I can't get over the really odd Chris Hansen obsession either. He really irritated me in one of his videos with one of his jokes. He said he was trashing the state of Indiana. Now this is what he's saying about Skeeter Jean, who's a fraud. He said he was trashing the state of Indiana, saying that it is a predator haven, trying to imply that Indiana is full of these creeps. His home state of Michigan actually has the 4th highest number of sexual predators, while Indiana is in the top 5 of the least amount of predators. He is that guy we all know who thinks that he is funny, but in reality he comes off as an arrogant and annoying. Anyone who doesn't understand that is and always has been 100% fake. This has come from ORBITRIX 7 months ago on Reddit. Needs to pay closer attention from shoddy police uniforms, unmarked fake police cars, and the fact that vigilantism is extremely legally risky. Should tell anyone watching that it's fake. They aren't even working or even try to at least look like they are working directly with law enforcement most of the time. That's not how the real world or legal system works. Then you got 5 replies to this. Soggy Huckleberry 62 says, okay, so 1, these videos are far from fake. 2, the fake police officer you seen was a bodyguard in somewhat police garb, even says security on his back. 3, I've never seen him in fake police vehiculars. Illustrious Photo 493 3 days ago said, at first I thought there was no way this would be fake or staged, but when he did that confrontation with that Sky person who was supposedly anticipating getting sponsor deals after hitting 10K followers on TikTok, I started wondering how real is most of his confrontations. No way did he find one person who was stupid enough to believe 10K followers on TikTok would start getting sponsor deals while also apparently not realizing FUBU, Prestige Worldwide, and Kmart are no longer around to even sponsor anyone, and at the same time still believe a sponsor deal could still happen after being presented with evidence of having sexually charged conversations with someone underage. That video was 100% over the top and made me wonder how many of his catches are staged to pander to those wanting predators exposed. Exactly. I just stumbled on this guy's videos and had to double check the one police officer I saw was definitely not a cop. Not in a real police getup, not wearing a ballistics vest, had no radio communications, not armed. It was like seeing a Dollar Tree cop walk in with a horrible costume. It wasn't legit at all. It made me laugh, and I had to just look at this online. It's probably all just put on. That is coming from Norman Notes 4 months ago on Reddit. Nefariousness Deer 613 says, no one is going to pretend to be predator for views on YouTube when they wouldn't even get paid for it. Y'all clearly all predators. So just because we think Skeet Hansen on his precious YouTube or Skeeter Jean, we're all calling him a fraud, and because of that we're all predators. Oh yeah, okay. There are no victims. Comes from Prudent Decision 3221. And then Nefarious Deer 613 says, you realize he doesn't get paid off YouTube for this, correct? Illustrious Photo 493 says his cult base donates money to him. I would never donate money to this idiot. How much? I don't have an answer for that question, but I do know he has a profile on the Locals app that charges $7 a month. My guess is he has a lot of members who pays for it. So even if YouTube won't monetize his predator catching videos, he's still making quite a bit of money doing this. Exactly. And then additional fee 1566 says he travels all over the country. The fact that you think Chomo even deserved that much respect is incredibly worrying. Additional fee 1566. And then ESAU 2020 on Reddit says his channel started a comedy channel and he only became a catcher after he did one sting for shits and giggles, and it became his most viewed video. I guess he's reacting to that comment. And then it says, what was Skeeter's first predator video? Is it the one where the predator was a waiter who had little bags of cereal clipped to his shirt? There you see Skeet Hansen or whatever talking to this predator. Please don't do this to me. Agreed. They are all so bad, but this dude is probably the only somewhat tolerable one. And then, yes, but actually no, 17 wrote, I don't know, CPP is probably my favorite of the non-Hansons. I don't know what he's referring to there. Less Than Rich wrote, you have to assume CPP kind of do it for the right reasons. and not just to make money. Doesn't change the fact they do it to make money. They would never post if this wasn't true. And also, this predatory investigation unit, he can be sued for defamation of character. Or if one of these predators gets attacked because of one of his videos, that predator can sue him in court. And they also can sue him because he's videotaping them without their consent. You can't do that. And if one of those predators get attacked, YouTube can be sued, and Skeeter Jean can be sued, because YouTube will be liable. CPP is the best. He is doing it for the victims, although there has been some talk about a scandal where he took donations and told the people donating they could write it off, but they came to find out that they couldn't, or something like that. He's talking about Colorado Ped Patrol, or CPP. I do believe CPP is doing it for the victims, though his own kid was a victim, and he mentions that numerous times. I believe CPP has a good head on his shoulders, and even though he is dealing with the scum of the earth, he still treats them like human beings and would never take an alcoholic drink from a catch and drink it on camera. So this one person said, I don't know, ECN. I don't know why, but there is some emptiness in his aura, like he is a sociopath or something. Feel absolute no connection, see no human expression. It's like always the same facial expression from him with no humanity or empathy behind it. He is more into portraying himself, maybe narcissism. It sometimes feels like there is more behind the scenes, like they bombarded certain people with decoy messages till they made the wrong move, etc. And the Raptors fan 93849 said, I agree. I feel like he is a sociopath. He makes a lot of remarks that are very strange, like funny, but he says it with no emotion. I personally think he just enjoys ruining someone's life. Like he picked busting pedos because he knows no one has sympathy for pedos, and it makes him look like a great guy while destroying someone. By the way, I think pedos should be known and put in prison, but I feel this guy more does it for those reasons, as a sadistic type of thing, rather than doing it because he cares to protect. Do you agree? And then you can see the more comments here. I'm not going to read them because I'll be reading these things all day, but you can see the comments. YHAOOAH17 says, obviously I don't know how to pronounce that, but the folder he carries and the way he asked the guy for ID, saying he is from the Predatory Investigation Unit, all seems to me done to appear as if he were a cop, and it's illegal to impersonate a cop. I sometimes feel like it's all staged because the suspects almost never does anything to try and run or get physical. They just sit there and let him call the cops. Yeah, that's another thing. It seems to me like if he messed with the wrong person, they could pull out a weapon and use it on him. Because he has no protection. If it went bad, if it went sour, and they pulled out a weapon and shot him, it would be all over. Because when you expose people like that, the wrong person is going to take that kind of bad, and they're going to come after you. People tend to comply when they're caught off guard, see what they assume is an authority figure, and know they did something wrong. They're not thinking straight in that moment. So I think that's why they just kind of freeze and let it happen. Come across this guy last night and watched the Barbie movie vid, and the whole time I'm thinking, damn, this dude could have just got up and walked away from this whole thing. He was being creepy but hadn't actually committed a crime. I wonder if he'll end up suing this Skeet guy like he threatened to. And he can sue him. Desert Mermaid 92 has a point. Who would willingly sign up to be a child predator? Says New Stress 1006. And one person said, I just watched his 2024 live feed, and he responded to a comment saying he pays actors $100 to play as predators. I wonder if that's true. Nefarious Deer 613 says, stop being dumb. Proud Entrepreneur 1 says, I'm late as hell to this, but I agree with the person below. It's too ego-based, all centered around Skeet thinking he's slick. It makes me feel disgusted by the men he confronts and him. I don't know. And someone said, Bob Brock 86 says, I'm surprised someone hasn't tried to press criminal confinement charges on him, to be honest. And Desert Maid 92 said, it sounds like one of the most recent ones might press charges. The Barbie movie video. I only just came across this guy last night and watched that episode. I am all about catching predators and do what I can in my spare time, but watching Skeeter's vid, I felt a little conflicted for some reason. It seemed more focused on theatrics than anything. It was very clear that the start of the vid that he didn't have enough evidence for a conviction. So even though it's clearly disgusting for a 33-year-old man to meet up with a 14-year-old girl, it's technically not illegal in and of itself. And the guy hadn't alluded to anything sexual in messages. I'm not saying that makes the meet up right whatsoever. On the bright side, if anything, maybe it shamed this guy enough so that he doesn't ever end up becoming a straight up predator. He seemed more like a lonely dork who made a really bad decision. Just my take, and I'm so not one to give these types the benefit of the doubt. I'm curious to see if this guy will end up going through with pressing charges. Rewatching the beginning thins, Skeet guy did essentially impersonate a cop, in my opinion. As he said, I'm with the Predatorial Investigation Unit upon approaching the guy. He had a guy with him dressed up in a security guard uniform. Not sure if the guy really a security guard, but it certainly makes them look official. And this ST Crest Tip said, did you hear when Skeet said makes you wonder what they are putting in the fried chicken these days? When the off-duty cop said he was chasing a young black male, pretty sure he was trying to make the cop look bad. And then Orbitrix said, I'm not convinced Skeeter Hansen is anything more than 100 or 1000% fake and only for entertainment purposes. There's many segments in his videos where the cops otherwise in uniform aren't even driving marked police cars. Sure, unmarked police cars exist, but come on. Tons of other tales and obvious examples of this, all being entirely faked, staged entertainment exist. Least of all being Skeeter's over-the-top shtick, which whatever, if it scares people away from committing these sort of crimes, I'm all for it. It's potentially problematic if it is actually real too, because vigilantism without full police cooperation like the real Chris Hansen can often allow these people off the hook because of various legal precedents. That alone should tell any reasonable person just how fake this all is. Anxiety war and people like that on YouTube are at least a lot more convincingly the real deal. The real police would be pissed and uncooperative with an unaffiliated film crew doing stuff like this. Get real. Vigilantism is not legally sound, effective, or valid. The real deal version of this would never afford this level of production quality and cooperation for police that they portray. Real predator catchers either work directly with the police or have a much more raw, authentic, and guerrilla style of content. Exactly, and they don't joke around. Skeeter makes this all look like a joke. And he makes himself look like a joke, which he is a joke. And his YouTube channel is a joke. I agree. The production quality is too high and the police too cooperative. And then Butterscotch 1753 said, yeah, I just watched one. The only one I've ever seen. It was on my recommended. It was basically he let the guy play Mortal Kombat against him. Yeah, I saw that video on YouTube, but I never watched it. And if he won, he was able to leave and they would forget all about it. Kind of weird. There is another YouTuber. It's like two older white guys and they don't play around. They have everything and they always call the cops in every video. And you get to see the police interactions. Big Herm, the video I just watched. It was kind of weird, I'm not going to lie, LOL. The guy ended up getting an Uber home, and apparently the next day they made a police report, supposedly. And then Orbitrix said, yeah, there's a constant stream of people trying to to catch a predator niche, real and fake. I get the appeal. I love the original To Catch a Predator, but the formula is so diluted and played out at this point. Unless Chris Hansen does more stuff, I'm burned out. Illustrious Photo 493 says, when you go back and watch the confrontation with Sky, the alleged wannabe social media influencer, that video 100% screamed fake. No way was someone that stupid to believe 10K followers was enough to get sponsors or that Kmart, Worldwide Prestige, and FUBU, 3 companies that went under, was wanting to sponsor them, nor would anyone have been stupid enough to keep believing a sponsorship was still possible after being presented with evidence of predatory behavior. That video was extremely over the top and made me legit start questioning how many of his catches are staged. You'd think no one would agree to look like a predator, but at the same time, nothing surprises me anymore on what people would do for money or exposure. Exactly. See, I don't make money on YouTube. And I don't really care about exposure. Perfectly, but the European Goldfinch said perfectly put, this is what turns my stomach about a lot of these guys, in that I wonder if a button was given to them and all they had to do was press it, and predatory behavior the world over would finally come to an end and never happen again. If only would people like him choose to press the button, or would he choose his paycheck, YouTube fame, and ego over it? Exactly. I saw one once where the predators, 2 toddlers, were in the car for a long period of time whilst the YouTuber spoke to their mother, and they were screaming and crying instead of immediately calling the cops, therefore safeguarding the children and getting them out of a stuffy car. His priority was getting enough footage for his channel. In my opinion, from the recent and first video I saw of Skeeter, there was a guy filming there that was impersonating a police officer, and when they describe themselves as professionals, it just makes me cringe. They do not specialize in any of the fields that deal with these criminals. A large YouTube following is not equal to training and qualifications. Lastly, if channels like this generally made a difference, then I'd feel somewhat differently about them, but they don't. And then Jumpy Magician 2989 said an excellent point. And then this person said, yeah, but the embarrassment in being on YouTube is enough punishment to deter these preds to offend again. He's doing a good thing, be it for ulterior motive or not. And then Honest Direction 8462 says, seems like you know nothing about this dude. You can make a citizen's arrest, especially when he has proof and calls the cops. He's allowed to do this and even saves kids from being in the hands of sickos. And also, he's never been aggressive to any shop owners. So you might be thinking of someone else. Laugh my ass off. Plus, 98% of these people he catches do get convicted. And then this person says, well, good for him for getting people evicted, but getting them convicted is what he should be doing. Sarcasm aside, do you have a source on that on the 98% conviction rate? You understand that being arrested and being convicted are 2 different things, right? And yes, he's absolutely being a hostile asshole to employees of stores that were used in stings, and he's absolutely exploited family reactions in the past, and he's absolutely worn a bunny costume and had people feed him McDonald's during confrontations. He's a effing tool that doesn't give a flying F about protecting kids and just wants to be a YouTuber. He literally hawks software that obscures online activity on his channel that's supposedly against internet child predation. He's fake and you're an idiot if you can't see it. And one person said he's only gotten 3 people arrested. It says, entrapment exists, buddy. You still sure, though, cause citizens arrest it different as FD head. It's detaining a thief or robber, you dumb piece of beep. And then this person said, you think seeing a child online is entrapment? You might be a beep beep dude, LOL. Bro, he's taking out predators. Who the F cares if he's is comedic about it? Embarrass them good. They deserve that. They deserve to be severely humiliated. Imagine the awful stuff a predator would do to a child if Skeet wasn't in the picture. He's trying to embarrass the predator. And then this person said the fact that very few face convictions isn't exactly his fault. That's the U.S. justice system. If you don't like any comedic relief and believe Chomo pieces of beep deserve that amount of respect, then watch someone else. LOL. And then this person said, I know it's old, but he nowhere impersonates a cop. Used to be a private investigator myself. No government affiliation. I still had a legal badge to flash people who didn't believe I was who I said I was. What makes it illegal is when the badge is distinctly similar to local PD badges or using a badge claiming to be PD. Anyone for any reason can legally flash a badge as long as it doesn't look like a government issued badge. And then this person said, I'll say Anxiety War is one of my favorites. A bit weird at times, but it generally seems like he's doing it for the right reasons. He has even gotten in some pretty crazy situations with the Preds before too, saying that he also goes really in depth and reads 75 to 100% of the chat logs before the catch, which I understand might be too much for some. And then this person says, Skeeter might be able to spell potato. This person says, he seems like law enforcement. I happen to know law enforcement, but for real though, he's doing good by outing predators, but he needs to change some of his tactics and verbiage before he catches a lawsuit. Yep, pretty much it will shut him down if he ever gets a lawsuit filed against him. That will shut his YouTube channel down permanently. All it takes is one wrong person that he catches, and he's going to pay for it. I mean, if he was legit, then I would have no problem with it. But he doesn't take it seriously. And you can see these comments. Most are against him, some are for him. unprofessional, says this person. So you can go on Reddit and read all these comments. Just search Skeeter Jean, and you can go on Reddit and read these comments. But yeah. So this video is already too long, but I just thought I'd share some of the comments. But yeah. What I'm saying is, if Skeeter Jean catches the wrong person and he gets someone killed, or he gets the predator killed, he could face a lawsuit, and so could YouTube. And I'm also saying he could also get killed himself. And he claims the catches are real, but he's already been one of the Walmarts, I think, banned him. So, I mean, I know predators, some predators could show up with a gun, because it happened before. A predator catcher was killed because he come up on the one 17-year-old kid and another 18-year-old kid, both of them, and then he struck one of the people that he accused as predator, and one of them pulled out a knife, the other pulled out a gun and shot him to death. So, I mean, all it takes is one bad catch and he can pay for it. You know, that's why his YouTube channel needs to be shut down before he gets himself or someone else killed, or he faces a lawsuit that will shut him down. That's all I'm saying. You know, and I'm not trying to defend the predator or anything, but looking at a legal thing, holding people against their will, claiming he's from the Predatorial Investigation Unit, and he wouldn't do this if there weren't money in it, if he wasn't doing it for YouTube or anything. He would never do this. That's all I'm saying. If YouTube didn't exist, I'd say he'd starve to death because he can't get a real job. That's all I'm saying. Catch you in the next one.